Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Clandestine Cabal.
Don't do that again.
Aww. Anyway, I'm Jason.
I'm Ben.
And we have got 3 comic book reviews for you. So let's not waste any time and kick it off with Flash number 7 from DC Comics. And it is written with and drawn by Francis Manapul, with some more writing done by Brian Buccellato, yeah. Buccellato, haha. And this is continuing the story of Barry Allen's encounter with the revamped Captain Cold. But it's also kind of like also a continuation of the previous arc with the massive blackout throughout Central City.
Which is being referenced, I think, in almost every DC book.
Yeah, everyone's just like, well, we could go to Central City, but there's no power there at all. But this book has really surprised me. I was used to Jeff Johns writing The Flash with Francis Manapul doing the art. And, I mean, it's still Francis Manapul doing the art, but now he's also doing the writing. And I thought it could be a little disastrous, like artists that should just be writing, like that shouldn't be writing at all, like David Finch. Good to know we're on the same page. But anyway, I thought that Flash has been... Alright, I think we're done making fun of people. That's not true. That's never true.
We can't make enough fun of it.
Anyway, Flash number 7, just like the rest of the series, has been incredible. It has been, like, not a lot of people are big fans of Barry Allen because there are a lot of Wally West fans out there, and a lot of people are like, oh, where's he in the new 52? But I believe that this has been a wonderful, wonderful book so far. Everything's connected, and this seemed to just be, I'm going to go up against Captain Cold, who's got a vendetta against the Flash. But it's so much more than that. Because, I mean, I think Ben said, like, oh, Flash is becoming like Fringe. And that's the second Fringe reference we've made on our show. But, like Fringe. But it's like, it does take, like, a whole nother form almost. Like, it goes beyond superhero and it tackles sci-fi that's completely unexpected. Mm-hmm. I think that's what I love most about this book. It's a surprise around every corner. You never know what to expect. You never know how an issue is going to end. And right now, like, I guess Flash, the opinion of Flash is kind of like the opinion of Spider-Man. Not a lot of people are liking him because they think he was responsible for the big blackout.
He's not. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, he is not. But that's from a couple issues back.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been a great read. As I said in like our previous video with Wonder Woman, another comic that's kind of like not been in the spotlight that much, and it totally deserves it because this is wonderful, and I cannot suggest any more, and I cannot like recommend any more like reading it than I have already. So definitely pick it up.
Cool. I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record, and I always say, like, oh, this book's so awesome, I love it so much, I wish I could read it, you know. I've never said that before. I don't know
I want to make sweet love to this book.
but I think that's just because I pick stuff that I really like and I want to talk about it. So I really love this book. I want to eat it. And it was really good. I think at one point...
No, Speed Force.
I think at one point in the book I was like, much more colorful language, but I was like, holy crap on a crapper. Like, this is so good. And I want to go like all... The art is so beautiful. I want to go like all Mary Poppins style and like jump into it. And like,
gay!
I knew you were going to do that. Whatever.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
It is what it is. Which, speaking of the comic book queers, if you're not a fan and that interests you at all, go ahead and check them out too. They actually interviewed Francis Manapul and Brian Buccellato on their podcast, and it was kind of a big love fest, like pretty much how an interview with them and me would go as well. And they just talked about how great this new Flash book was, and it actually was kind of like what reinvigorated my desire to start reading it again, because I was trying to cut my reading list, which didn't really work out too well. But it's so good. But no, like what I really get out of this book is like it's a really fresh take from two guys who just love the crap out of the Flash. And they're writing some really great, interesting, unique stories, and also kind of creating some new characters too. And it's just great. And it's unlike anything that's happened with the Flash before, and you really need to check it out.
I think we spent a lot of time on that.
Yeah,
Let's
jump
to the other one.
Oh god, this is gonna be a long time too.
Shit.
This is Daredevil number 10, and written by Mark Waid with art by Paulo Rivera. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm not the world's biggest Daredevil fan, because I think Mark Waid might beat me, and he might beat me in every respect. Like, with every comic book character ever made, he might be a bigger fan of them than I am. But I'm pretty close, I think. I love Daredevil. I love the fact that he's a blind superhero. I love the fact that his day job is being an attorney. It's kind of become like the storyteller greats take turns writing Daredevil to see like what they can do and how they can up the ante. And Mark Waid really brought it with his run on Daredevil right from issue number 1. And kind of the pastiche with Daredevil in the past has been that he's this really like down on his luck, really dark superhero. And it's really great for Mark Waid to like turn it around and have it go back to this kind of like happy-go-lucky, almost Stan Lee take on the character. And we haven't really seen that for decades. And so it's really nice. It's really nice to see that. All that being said, we kind of got a glimpse of the old Matt Murdock, the dark Matt Murdock, in this issue number 10. What's happened in the last 2 issues is that Mole Man has taken all of these coffins out of this graveyard looking for his long lost love, and it just so happens that Daredevil's father, Jack Murdock, who is like the inspiration for him, his coffin and casket like was in that same graveyard, so he's pissed. So
you would be too.
Yeah, no, I would be too. And so it kind of brought back a little bit of that bitter, angry Daredevil that we've been missing for almost a year now. And I can't say. Again, I will have it so much I want to eat it. I really love this issue, and I've loved every single issue of this run, and it's shaping up to be my favorite run on Daredevil so far, and it's only been 10 issues. So, Mark Waid, please never leave this book, please.
I have to say I agree with both what Ben said and with IGN when they listed their top 10 Marvel books of 2011. Daredevil was number 1, and I completely agree with that. I believe it's one of the strongest Marvel books out there and one of the strongest comic books out there. I love Mark Waid, and I love his work on Daredevil, and that's saying something, because if you're going to be the writer of Daredevil, you have to fill the you have to go up against runs done by Frank Miller, Brian Michael Bendis, Kevin Smith, and Ed Brubaker.
And Ann Nocenti, little known writer. No one really knows about that run, but it was a good one.
But yeah, and it's those are big shoes to fill, but Mark Waid does it brilliantly, and I just enjoyed every issue of this Daredevil run as well. It's wonderful because like, yeah, you do have the happy-go-lucky Daredevil, but in an issue that like, oh, you got some great like exchanges between Daredevil and Foggy. At the same time, you can have a twisted tale of trying to find your long lost love's cadaver, and it's like, but it fits incredibly well together. And the entire premise of the series is Daredevil just trying to get a new life start, and Matt Murdock getting a new life started, but everybody assumes that he is Daredevil, and they rightly assume that. Yeah. But it's a really complicated situation that he's in, but Mark Waid writes it brilliantly. I love his Matt Murdock, probably more than I love his actual Daredevil, because I feel like he's the driving force of the book.
Yeah, Matt Murdock. A good run always focuses more on Matt Murdock anyway. But yeah,
but definitely awesome. Definitely check it out. I believe the first volume came out fairly recently.
Yeah, it came out last month, I think.
So if you have any interest in Daredevil or just good comics in general, definitely check this out.
Sorry, I'm going to say one more thing about it. Promise. A lot of people are turned off by the character because of the Daredevil movie, which I actually didn't have a huge problem with that, but that's a whole other conversation, so I won't talk about that. But just throw that out the window. That trade that we talked about is a great jumping on point. He's really one of the best comic book characters ever. I think IGN put him in the top 10, which he definitely should be.
Oh yeah.
So please don't let whatever your opinions about that movie were.
Whatever you know about Daredevil, just forget it.
Just don't think about it and read this, please.
View every single arc as a different take, and this is just a whole new take. Go into it fresh, and it's wonderful. It is truly wonderful.
Okay, we got it.
But yeah, we are going to finish up with I, Vampire, another DC hit from Joshua Hale Fialkov and Andrea Sorrentino. And this is the second part of a crossover between Justice League Dark and this book, focusing on the rise of the vampire story that the first 6 issues of I, Vampire has slowly been leading up to. And in spoiler, in the last issue, Tig, Tig, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tig, one of the vampire hunter that was traveling with Andrew Bennett, who is the main vampire of the story, decided that I'll solve everybody's problems and kill the main character of the book. But and now he's in a state of nothingness because he was a vampire. He was already dead. But this, and so basically, this is the forces of Gotham City, along with Justice League Dark, are trying to stop the vampires who now have resurrected Cain. And yes, that is the Cain of Cain and Abel, probably one of the most evil characters of all creation. And the one person who can stop him is currently in nothingness.
I just put together that that's the Cain from Final Crisis Revelations, right?
Yeah, except that was in the host of Vandal Savage.
And then that was old DC too.
Yeah. But anyway, our first review, we did a speed round review of the number 1 issue of this. Didn't really have a lot of positive opinions on it, but this series has really grown on me. A lot of people said that it was good, so I gave it another chance, and it actually, I grew to love the character Andrew Bennett. I believe he's definitely the strongest part of the book, along with the art. The art's just perfect for this book. It fits as well with this as J.H. Williams' art does with Batwoman, and
she's sleeping.
Yeah,
already.
But this has been an incredible book, and I love how it ties in with Justice League Dark. The characters go together; they flow well together, and I believe that there's another month of the story, if not longer. I think
it's just another month because I think Jeff Lemire takes over after.
Right, but it is definitely a great story and side switch. And I look forward to the return of Andrew Bennett, hopefully.
Cool. I don't want to say that I'll start by saying I did really like this issue. I really did. But I don't want to say it was a complete 180 from my stance on the book. But it was pretty close because I really, really disliked the first issue. And people kept having nothing but good stuff to say about it. So I was there's got to be something that I'm missing here. And so, I kept reading it, and each issue grew on me a little bit more. And I guess I just got frustrated with the fact that people kept saying that it was unlike any other vampire thing out there. And for me, that's still kind of not the case. I think there's still a lot of really good vampire fiction out there post-Twilight that, and not saying this is worse than or better than, But I think there's lots of really good comparable stuff to iVampire that a lot of people are missing, and saying that this is like the best thing in vampires like since Twilight is really kind of not accurate. So I think that's kind of where I was expecting it.
Good.
Yeah, I think I was expecting it to be even better than I think other people were expecting it to be, because I kind of love my vampire fiction, the good stuff. And but anyway, all that being said, this issue was very good, very well crafted. I liked number 6, but I like this more because I feel like number 6 relied a lot on the shock value of Andrew Bennett's death. And this issue just had a lot more like meat and bone storytelling to it, with some great action. And like you said, it really flows into like the Justice League Dark World really well. And it's just a really unique book in the DC universe. And I like that they kind of have a good stance. Like they've kind of reached their like a nice foothold in the DC universe. And Batman and Batgirl and Nightwing and a mention of Robin. And so yeah, they really want. They're really firing on all cylinders with this book. So
another reason that I enjoyed so much is because in like in DC Comics, which is usually just a world of superheroes, you have this dark tale that seems like it should belong in like an Image book or a Vertigo book, but instead it has a place in the DC universe, but it's not out of place.
That's how I feel about Winter Soldier over in Marvel. It doesn't feel quite like a Marvel book. Feels like an Image or Vertigo book.
But yeah, it's definitely good. I mean, obviously, a lot of people have been saying it's been good already, but we give this the Clandestine Cabal stamp of approval. Mm-hmm. And also, if you enjoy reading Joshua Hale Fialkov, he's also doing the current arc of the Doctor Who comic, which is very, very good. So I recommend that as well.
And he's also writing Last of the Greats over at Image, which I have not read, but I've heard great stuff about.
But anyway, I think that wraps up this episode. We've got 2 other episodes that we posted fairly recently, so check those out too. If you like what you see, subscribe to our channel on Facebook. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Like our page on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. And if you have any suggestions for any books that you would like to see us review, put them in the comments below.
Or communicate with us and all those other methods.
That too. Now that YouTube is linked with Gmail, you can send us an email at Clandestine Cabal, which is our channel name. Cool. But anyway, we hope to hear from you guys, and we also hope you enjoy our videos. We'll see you next time we see you.
Sweet.